Hello everyone, we are live again.
Good afternoon. Hope everybody is doing fine. It's cold, it's windy, it's ugly outside. So here's the option for a live stream workout if you didn't want to join us today in person. For today, what we're going to do, we have a leg strength part, some heavy Bulgarian split squats, one leg hip thrusts, and some upper body pressing, and then a metcon to get you out of breath. Equipment-wise,
it's a lot of strength today, I think.
It's a lot of strength. Everything is heavy, start to finish.
That's why I chose this t-shirt.
But we don't even have a barbell.
Yeah, but I'm going to lift some kettlebells.
Lift heavy. Very good. Then, with that in mind, what you need for today, if you have some sort of weights, 2 chairs for some dips. You see our lovely orange chairs back here. If you have an ab mat, might be useful, and then we're good to go. Yes, grab your equipment and we will cue the music. I forgot to mention the TRX. We've got one hanging here. If you didn't grab yours now. For the warm-up, we're going to do 3 sets, very simple. 10 lunges, 5 and 5 one-leg glute bridges, and 5 body rows. Let's show the movement real quick. For the lunges, we're going to simply step forward, bring the back knee to the floor, and stand back up. That's the lunge. For the glute bridges, we're going to lie down on the floor, on the back. We're going to pull our heels close to the butt cheeks, the head is relaxing, the arms are relaxing, and we're going to bring one leg up in the air and then drive the hip off the floor. 5 on the left, 5 on the right. And then we're going to go into 5 body rows. If you have a suspension trainer, gymnastic rings, anything like this, grab the rings, put your feet right underneath, and then we're going to bring the legs straight, and we're going to pull our weight up. Those are your 3 movements for the warm-up. We're going to do 3 sets, 10 lunges, 10 glute bridges, and 5 body rows, very slow and relaxed. You good?
In case someone doesn't have a suspension trainer?
If you don't have a suspension trainer, there's plenty of options. If you have access to some weight, we're going to do a bent over row. We're going to start with the weight next to the feet. We're going to pick it up in a deadlift and then pull the elbow behind. Here we go. Or you can get under a chair, a table, and pull there. By now, I guess you've seen that variation too. So, depending on what you have, let's go. 10 lunges, let's get moving.
Okay.
By now, the amount of lunges you have done over the last 8 weeks, probably more than you've done in a very long time before. So luckily, we might be opening up soon for more classes, and that means less lunges maybe, and more variation again. For the glute bridges, we're going to lie down on the floor, one leg goes up in the air, and then drive the heel up. Five on each side, and then we're going to switch to the other leg. You can hold the top position for a half second just to feel your glutes warming up and doing all the work for you. After 5, we're going to walk over to the TRX or your dumbbells, kettlebells, etc. You grab the TRX, gently lean back, get your legs straight, get your hips straight, and then we're just going to pull from the arms, thinking about pulling the elbow behind the body. And then we'll do that 2 more times. Very good. In those glute bridges, we really want to focus on feeling our glutes. Those are the muscles on in the butt cheeks, which should be working. We need them later on, so make sure you feel them doing the work for you. Now we don't want to use the lower back. As we go on to the rows again. That's round number 2 done. We've got one more set. And then hopefully we are kind of warm. And then we're already moving on to the last set of body rows. There we go. Good. How are the legs?
Warm.
Warm, good.
Activated.
Then let's talk about the Bulgarian split squats and the hip thrusts. We're going to do split squats. What you need is something to put your foot on. So a chair, a couch, a small table, something that allows you to elevate your back foot. We're going to use the couch.
Yes.
So let's have a look. We're going to step in front of the couch. We're going to bring the back foot or one leg on top of the couch, and we want to have the top of the foot resting on the couch. So we're not on the toes, we have the top of the foot resting on the couch. Your front foot, you have to play around with a good position for a second if you're not used to it. You know you're in a good position if you're able to perform a one leg squat with your upper body going straight down and straight up. So Kat's going to show us what it looks like. There we go. What we should not feel is when we're coming down is that we're being pulled towards the couch. Then your position is too far forward, so step a little bit closer. As long as your body is moving up and down in a straight line, we're good. We can do this weighted. You can grab a kettlebell, dumbbell, whatever you have. You can hold it in a front rack position. You can hold it in a farmer position. It really doesn't matter as long as you're holding onto it and your chest is pointing forward, so we're not collapsing and not collapsing to the side. That's for the Bulgarian split squat. Then we've got the hip thrust. We're still going to use the couch. We're going to lie down with our upper back on the couch, the heels on the floor. We're going to again raise one leg up in the air like we did with the glute bridge. And now we're going to drop the hip down towards the floor and press back up. Drop the hip towards the floor and press back up. Definitely heavier than the glute bridges we did in the warm-up, and if that's not heavy enough, you can use a weight. Grab a kettlebell, grab whatever you find, and place it just underneath the belly button. Those are your two leg movements, the squat and the hip thrust, that will get your glutes and quads working. We're combining that with an upper body pressing movement, some chair dips. Well, if you have rings, maybe do ring dips. But we're looking for 10 repetitions each round, so that should be light. For the chair dips, we're going to bring our hands at the edge of the chair, our hip between the chairs, so the feet can go out in front. And then we're going to bend the elbow, keep the elbow close as we bring the chest down towards the ceiling, down towards the floor, and press back up. At the bottom of the repetition, we want to have the elbow right above the hand. If that is too easy, lift one leg off the floor, or if that is too easy, lift both legs off the floor. If you're lifting both legs off the floor, make sure you have chairs that are not wobbling around. It might happen that the chairs want to fall forward. I want you to try the chair dips and do maybe 3 to 5 repetitions. We haven't done any pressing so far, so do 3 to 5 reps before we go into the strength part. Good. That should be enough. We've done all the pulling, so a little bit of pressing to balance it out. 3 rounds, 3 minutes. It's plenty of repetitions. It's actually 42 repetitions each round, so it's plenty of work to be done. So don't rest too much. Make sure you're squeezing everything within the 3 minutes. So we're going to continuously move as we go along. Are you ready?
Yes.
Very good. Then I'm going to start the clock. You're going to start with the Bulgarian split squats in 10 seconds.
I guess it's also in the screen, the workouts. Yes.
Okay. Back foot goes on the bench, on the couch, and then we're making sure we're coming straight down and up. In the Bulgarian split squat, we want to have the knee right over the toe as we're coming down. So we're not letting the heel come off the floor and shifting the weight forward. We keep everything on the flat foot for 8 repetitions. If you feel like you're seesawing forwards and backwards, then slightly change your position. We want to make sure it's a straight up and down. We're showing the variation here without any weight, but if you've done a lot of split squats recently, you know you can probably go a little bit heavier. Then we're on to the hip thrust. We're 1 minute in. So now we're going to do 8 and 8. One leg goes up in the air, drop the hip towards the floor, and then press up. Every time you're pressing up, think about your abs. The hip's going to come up all by itself, but we need to make sure the core is active. After 8, we're switching sides. And I guess by now the legs and the glutes are already burning.
Yes.
It's a lot of repetitions today. You could call that bodybuilding. And then we're going to the chair dips. We've got a minute left in this round. 10 dips. Try to get a good burn. That means don't stop moving. Take a light movement or a light variation that allows you to do all 10 reps without stopping. We don't want to go too low. You shouldn't feel a big stretch on the chest or the shoulder. We should feel the chest working but not stretching. And there we go. That was the easy part. It's a lot of leg work. It's a good excuse for a big dinner. Okay, and now we'll go into the second round. We're back to the Bulgarian split squats. Hopefully you remember where you had put your feet in the last round. If you don't have weights and you want to make it harder, you have 2 options. Either move extremely slow, or you're going to try to become explosive. That means we're going to come down slow and controlled, and then we're going to jump on the way up. So different variations, how you can make a bodyweight movement feel harder, either by moving extremely slow or by moving as fast as possible and as explosive as possible. And then right away into the hip thrust. We're treating this as a superset to finish off the legs. You should not feel your lower back when doing glute bridges or hip thrusts. Should all come from the legs. You might feel some hamstrings and quads, but the majority of the work we want to have from the glutes. So if you're not feeling that, see what you need to change to make you use your glutes a bit more. And then we're on to the chair dips. Same thing goes, the elbows stay close throughout the entire movement. Don't allow the elbows to come out. Keep your elbows close, keep the hip between the chairs as we're going through those 10 repetitions, the only pressing we're doing today. There we go. You speed it up a little bit. 40 seconds rest for this round. This new setup is very crowded, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's in case you haven't noticed, we have changed setups. That is because we are now open. We got parts of our equipment back, so we needed a bit more space in here. But we're happy to have our dumbbells back, most of our kettlebells. There we go. We're having our equipment back, which we're using for the outdoor classes. So as a gentle reminder, if you still have some of our equipment, please bring it back because we have started the outdoor classes. So we need our stuff back. Round number 3, here we go. Yes. This week is cold and ugly, but there's no bad weather, there's just bad clothing. So we've had plenty of people doing great workouts already. Even though the movements are still very similar because we still don't have access to pull-up bars, for example, outside, or gymnastic rings or heavy barbells. But we have the community back. We have people working out together, obviously with a safe distance, but the community feeling is back. That's good news. And we as coaches finally get to see those suffering faces again.
This is a preview file.
Okay, you're done with the Bulgarian split squats, on to the hip thrust right away. Don't allow yourself to rest too much. We really want to get a good burn on. And then we're on to the last dips. This is the last pressing movement of today. So you don't need to rush it. We can take our time and make sure those 10 dips do their magic, meaning the chest is working hard, the triceps is working hard. You can see the hip stays between the chairs and the hand stays close to the center. That's a comfortable pressing position.
Remaining time, L-sit.
So it wasn't enough. It seems good. We've got 20 seconds.
Well, I didn't want to use weight, but I hope people use heavy weights.
I'm pretty sure. Good. Then, the legs have been working hard, but I haven't heard any heavy breathing and I don't even see any sweating. We're gonna change that now. What we have coming up is a finisher. We're gonna have an 8-minute Amrap, so rather short, of 21 weighted sit-ups, weighted in brackets, 15 deadlifts, and 9 body rows. Let's start with the sit-ups, not weighted. So let's start with a classic sit-up. If you have an app mat, use it. If you don't have one, don't despair. You can do your sit-ups without them. We're gonna lie down on the floor, pull the heels close to the hip, so we're gonna bring the heels as close to the body as we can. Then we're gonna touch the floor in front of us, we're gonna touch the floor behind us, and touch the floor in front of us for 1 repetition, for 2. If you're not using weights, you can use your arms to swing. So really use your arms after you touch to swing yourself up. That makes the movement a whole lot lighter. If you want to make it heavier, we can take the arms out by giving you something to hold on to. For example, a kettlebell, a wall ball, or something else. If you're using a kettlebell, you can't really swing yourself anymore because the kettlebell is going to keep you busy. What we're going to do, we're going to lift the kettlebell above the chest, and then we're going to do a full sit-up, coming down and back up. You see the momentum from the arms is gone to make it a little bit heavier. Depending on the object you have, if you have a wall ball that is light, a 4-kilo wall ball, you might want to touch the wall ball behind you on the floor. If you're having a heavy kettlebell, simply hold on, making it harder because you can't use your arms. After the 21 sit-ups, we're going to go into 15 deadlifts. You can do them with 1 kettlebell, 2 kettlebells, a dumbbell, whatever you have. If you're using 1 kettlebell, the weight starts between your feet. So the feet are left and right of the kettlebell. We're going to hinge from the hip and with straight arms pick up the kettlebell by extending the hip and driving our heels into the floor. You should feel your hamstrings and glutes do the work. That would be a traditional deadlift. If you have 2 kettlebells, you can also do them in a farmer setup, meaning left and right of the legs. I'm going to pick them up from here. Depending on the object, you might need to bend the knees a little bit more as you're coming down to make it more of a half squat, but that depends on the object. After your 15 deadlifts, we're going to move on to 9 body rows. Stepping back to the rings or the TRX, the suspension trainer. For our body rows. Very good. For the body rows, make them as heavy as possible, so you can do a set of 9. So to make them heavier and lighter, maybe you can show us one more time.
Yeah.
The lighter variation of the body rows would be stepping back, so walking away from the rings. That is making it lighter. If that allows you to do 9 repetitions unbroken, then step forward a little bit, so move your feet closer. That makes it heavier. If you still can do 9 reps unbroken, well then simply walk a little bit further forward. The heaviest variation would be your chest right under the handles of the suspension trainer. Make them heavy. We're looking for only 9 repetitions. That's not a whole lot, so we can go heavy. 8 minutes, little bit too long to sprint, but definitely too short to take it easy. So we have to get some intensity in. I think 3+ rounds should be doable. What do you think?
I will do my best.
Very good. That should be enough. Then, ladies and gentlemen, are you good?
Yes.
Yes, very good. I hope
Let's do
you've
it.
tested the movements at home. And then we're going to start with 21 sit-ups in 10 seconds. In 5, in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Of course, if you're having a kettlebell, something heavy, we don't need to touch the floor. We just want to do the reps without swinging the arms. If you're having a very light weight, like a 4-kilo wall ball, you can touch the floor behind you and in front of you. But it shouldn't turn into a shoulder exercise where you're more busy lifting the weight overhead. If the weight is too heavy, simply keep it in front of the chest and use your abs. "21 repetitions done here. We have 1 minute done, going right into the 15 deadlifts. Don't rest too long. We only have 7 minutes to go, so we can move fast here. Make sure you keep the back straight. We don't want this to turn into a Jefferson curl. Back is straight, your head is in line with the body as we're going through those 15 deadlifts. Onto 9 body rows. Make them as heavy as possible for a set of 9. First 9 should be unbroken. And that's round 1 done. Just in 2 minutes we can do 4 rounds here if we don't slow down. They look like they're getting heavy already. So the weight was just right. Yeah, but we're not stopping here. It's just sit-ups, it's just abs. You can go until they're cramping. You're not out of breath from those few sit-ups. Right into the deadlift, don't rest too long. Your legs. Keeping the back straight and your head in line with the body. So we're not looking upwards, but we're also not staring down. Your head is moving in line with the shoulders and the hip. You can see the back is straight, the hip is pushing back. All the work coming from the hamstring. And on to the body rows. Yes, it's also a little bit of grip here from the deadlift into the body rows. Still going for a very heavy variation here. Also at home, keep it going. We are 4 minutes in, 4 minutes to go. It's half time. If we want to finish 4 rounds, we have to speed it up a little bit. Our clock just died. Keep it going. We've had 3 minutes 30 on the clock. So you got 10 seconds extra. It means you're gonna finish the 4th round. What happened there is I stepped on the cable for the clock, but that is on me. The fact that you have to do 10 seconds more of this workout. You're welcome. You want me to do it again? Last 3 minutes coming up here. You're falling off pace just a tiny bit. Speed it up if you want to finish those 4 rounds. There we go, speeding up on the deadlifts now, but the form stays the same. Back is straight, head in line, hip is pushing back. As we're going through those deadlifts quickly now. From there, we're going to move right into the body rows. And there we have the last 2 minutes. Let's see if we're gonna finish the full round. 3 rounds done. Those sit-ups are looking heavy now. We've got a minute and 15 to go. Very good, last 50 seconds coming up. We're moving fast and pretty. Back is straight, yes, the legs are burning, but it's just 40 seconds to go, and then we're done. Keep it going. "20 seconds on the clock, squeeze in as many reps as possible. It's an Amrap, keep going till you hear the final beep. 10 seconds. In 5, in 3, 2, 1, and there's the beep. Did you finish the last round?
Yeah.
Yes, very
Exactly.
nice. 2 rounds per minute. What's the hardest
It
part?
was a lot of arm work as well.
A lot of grip.
How-
Well, you're
well,
holding on to something all the
The
way.
abs were slowing down into the sit-ups, muscle fatigue on the core, and also arms from the lot of pulling, deadlifts and body
Yes.
rows as well.
And also holding on to the kettlebell in the sit-up.
Yeah,
So
I
your
could
arms
feel
have
it.
been working for the full 8 minutes. So I'll leave the stretching up to you. Maybe
Yeah.
some forearms, but probably also hamstrings. So I'll leave that up to
Yeah.
you.
We also have hip stretches. Well, we have everything, so no worries. First of all, let's start with the forearms. For the grip, it was a lot of work. So you're going to kneel down and you're going to place your fingers facing your body. So you feel a stretch on your forearms. And then you're going to step backwards, try to sit down on your heels. As much as you go more backwards, then the stretching is getting even more. If you did the workout, you can also place down, write down your comments, how many rounds you did. It was a strength Amrap, not a lot of conditioning work, but the muscles worked quite hard. Now you can lean a little bit forward. Now we're going to rotate the hands. They're going to go exactly on the opposite side. Again, fingers pointing your knees so that we stretch also the opposite direction. And again, you can sit down on your heels. Try to maintain the full hand on the floor. And one last time, we're going to switch the hands, place them with the palm on the floor, fingers pointing towards your body, and try to sit backwards on your heels. And slowly you can relax a little bit extra with the forearms. Now we're going to go for the couch stretch. So you have the couch or the chair or you can also use a wall, whatever you can find, and you can place your foot against the wall or the couch. Knee is going to go on the floor. The leg that is in front of you is going to be neutral. Try to have the hands on your leg and try to move a little bit towards your leg that is in front of you so that you feel a stretch on the hip flexor quad as well. We're going to stay in this position, try to maintain the chest upright. You can now try to go a little bit more closer towards your heel so that you feel the stretch. You can make small movements, and where you can feel it mostly, then you can stay and push it a little bit more. It shouldn't be too painful, but of course it's not the most comfortable position to be at. Now stay in exactly the same position, but you are going to place your elbows on the floor. And you can make small movements with the foot that is in front of you, small movements on the side, so that we open up the hip as well. Let's see if the position is correctly, or on the other side. Trying to find the most comfortable position here, also for the camera. And now relax. We're going to switch legs. So the other leg goes on the couch or on the wall. And first we're going to start with the regular couch stretch, having the chest upright. The hands are on the leg that is in front of you. And stay in this position. You can start making small movements forward and backwards. You can go towards your heel and then come again forward. See where you feel it mostly, and then try to push it in this position with making very small movements. Now, as previously, we are going to place the elbows on the floor and slowly you're going to start making movements on the side with the leg that is in front of you. Try to open it up. With every movement, you want to lean even more closer towards the floor. And slowly you can come on the floor. We're going to do the frog stretch, so you're going to place the knees exactly on the hip side position, so exactly in the same line as the hips. And you are going to place the elbows on the floor. Slowly we're going to move backwards. When as far behind as you go, then the stretch is getting even harder. When you lean forward, you can relax a little bit. Try to open even more the knees on the side. And then go again backwards towards your heels. And try to relax in this position as much as possible. Now slowly you can bring the knees again on the floor. We're going to step up, and as a last movement, try to go with completely straight legs, locked knees. Try to go as far as you can reach on the floor, towards your floor with your hands. If you cannot reach your toes, you can grab yourself from the calves or from behind your knees, but try to maintain the knees locked so that you feel a good stretch on your hamstrings as well, that they work hard during the deadlifts. And try to bring the chest as close as possible towards your knees. And slowly, slowly, you can come again up. And that was it for today. I think we should stop in a minute now because the outdoor group classes are coming again, I think at 6 o'clock, is
I
it?
think so.
For today, with a nice workout. And tomorrow again, and every single day, we're going to start seeing you live. Again, of course, we're going to keep the live streams as well. So both options are nice. And you can get yourself 2 workouts per day with the live streams.
If you have the time and your body handles it,
Yeah,
go for it. We're going to close with a triple clap, also in the live, in the real outdoor classes, still no high fives, etc. So the triple clap it is in 1, 2, 3. Enjoy your evening.
you.
Bye bye.